Hello YouTube, long time no see, it is I, Xenerock, also known as ZacheryForest on Substack. Now, started a Substack, okay. I want to make this YouTube video on this Martin Luther King Jr. Day in the year 12,023, also known as 2023. Just get some things off my mind, and I'm posting it on YouTube instead of making like a TikTok or something, because one, TikTok is overwhelming me recently. I rarely check my TikTok comments, and I like when I get the views on there, but it's a little bit overwhelming. I know a lot less people are going to see this if I post it on YouTube, and it's going to be long form, informal, all that. Got my coffee, so let's fika together. So, if you've been following me, I'm sure you know I live in Griffin, Georgia, because I am the president of the Spalding County Young Dems, and I've done and I ran for the city commissioner seat in 5th District of Griffin. So this is what I do, politics-wise. We got hit by a tornado. I do live on the west side, which is where the tornado hit about a week ago. Maybe less than that. I'm fine. The house has minimal damage. We got very lucky. We had no power for a while, but I have comrades and family that I got to stay with, so I could continue doing my job, writing and following the news and stuff like that. Once again, ZacheryForest, that's Forest with one R, .substack.com. Yeah, on there, there's a free article where I describe everything that happened. So I don't need to explain that here. And this isn't a pity story. Like I said, we're fine. Totally fine. A little shooken up. It's a little crazy. Like, oh, wow, this happened, you know. And there were, for like half a week, it's about 10,000 people in Griffin that didn't have power. But that's solved. We have power again. There were local food drives and stuff like that. One thing, and this is something I just want to talk about and sort of scream into the void, because it's something about getting older. You know, I'm only 22, soon to be 23. But since I really got, I guess you could say, into the workforce, I started in my career or anything like that, when I was 16, I've always been very independent. Well, I guess my whole life I've been very independent. Only child, autistic, don't get along well with people. I mean, I do, but you know what I mean, like not close relationships. So I've been very independent and always giving back to my community. You know, that's always been the most important thing to me, being able to help people. I'm sorry, I hear something moving around. Who is that? Oh, it's my neighbor. Hold up, I'm gonna move this setup. Here we go. I think I can like put these two together with my mobile editor, something. I don't know, I'll figure it out. What was I saying? Oh, always done community service. This is the type of thing where I was having a little bit of a crisis, and that's what I want to talk about is in this situation, it's like all the stuff I've always done, this is my calling card. They had the city of Griffin set up a food bank. Then, of course, working with the food banks that already exist year-round, I could have gone to any of those and helped. I could have volunteered in tree removal. I probably would have done food drive. That's really what my plan was to do a food drive, volunteer there, help get people the things they need. They also, City of Griffin, thank goodness, and partnered with a local church, had a shelter. So proud of them for that. Not something I expect. Great. That didn't happen. What was a priority to me that outweighed that was my family. Now, we didn't get injured or anything like that, but my fiance works, is disabled, has a lot of stress, I needed to be there for her. I needed to be there for my baby cat. And I had to thread this needle of relation between our families for the housing that she needed, and I needed to do my journalism work. I could have gone to a coffee shop. Like, if we weren't together, and this is not me ragging on her, or it's just like a shell shock to me in a way. Like, if we weren't together, I would have gotten my roommates to drop me off at the food drive. I would have worked at the food drive all day, and then I would have taken my ass to like a coffee shop or somewhere with Wi-Fi and power and done my journalism. And I feel bad because I didn't do that. I stayed home. I relaxed. While my home and thousands of people in Griffin didn't have power, I went to some family a county over where they had power and internet, and I just kept living my life. Thank goodness. And I don't regret that, because that was a choice to be there for my fiance, because she needed me emotionally, and just needed me to take care of Bo, to support her, all these different things. So I don't regret it at all. I think I made the right choice, but it's just a weird feeling. And I think a lot of people, the reason I feel like this is something I want to post online is I think a lot of people feel that way. If they grow up super independent, always giving themselves to the community, and then you have to, and especially if you are a victim of abuse or neurodivergent, like I am both of those things, you give yourself away. And supporting important people and family members is giving yourself away, but it's different. Instead of giving yourself away to just the concept of humanity or community, you're doing it for a specific person, and in doing that, a lot of times you personally are benefited, and when I am benefited alone, a lot of times I beat myself up about it and think I don't deserve this. But it's those close human relationships that are most important and most impactful. That's how people grow. That's how, like I said, she needed me. Helped with her family relations, helped everything, And I'm sure there's a lot of people making that choice. Help the broader community or help your direct family. Which one's more important? So even now, there's people without houses in my city. As I speak, the reason I didn't go to my front yard to finish this, because there are people working in my front yard, fixing the internet, putting up new electrical poles, clearing trees. I could be out there still, or even starting now. But now, I've returned home since the power's on, and I've got my roommates, which include people like my father, who expressly say that, they were emotionally impacted by this, because I left for work reasons. He missed me, wants me to be here, all this. I have a dog that has abandonment issues, part boxer. Boxers deal with abandonment issues, all this. And it's not to say that, I don't know, I still feel bad about it. And it's this nagging feeling that made me want to do this. And I don't really have a conclusion. I don't have, knowledge. This is the first time I've ever dealt with this in my life. I'm sure some people can relate, especially people that work in community service. Or have never felt super loved or accepted by what feels like a family until adulthood. Which is kind of partly where I am too. Or struggle with, not struggle with, but have autism, have a hard time connecting with people, building those connections, or making decisions about what is more important. I made and I'm still choosing to support my family, but there's a piece of me that feels wrong for doing so. I'm almost a little lost. Like I don't deserve to have the power or to have the people literally working right now in my yard fixing this shit for me. I don't deserve it because I'm not out there helping. But I also know, and I'm going to continue to make the decision because I am helping. I'm just helping instead of people I don't know directly. I'm helping people I do know directly. And that help looks very different and feels very different and has a different outcome on my spoons, emotional spoons that is, on my physical, like, exhaustion, on my mental health, which, of course, the past couple of days have been going through it, already on a downward spiral. Before the disaster happened, the disaster was like, oh shit, flood of emotions, and then also the change for me of moving locations and all this has happened. You know, dealing with it instead of shoving that to the back of my mind, putting on my mask and going out and serving the community like I normally would. I focused on growing emotionally. Being there for my family is also going through it emotionally. And for us personally, it has really paid off, I feel like. But there's a guilt associated with it. Doing something good for me or good for my small group, there's a guilt associated to it. I'm sure that's normal, but just want to put those thoughts out there. And just make a video. I haven't made a YouTube video in a long time. Also, I'm just going to get into some old business, right, for YouTube, I suppose, on my channel. I did upload a 5-year anniversary for 16 and Pregnant, skit I made with some friends. I did not write it, acted in it, helped edit and produce it. The director, the writer, was one of my good friends at the time. Brilliant work. But then the next one, I did write and direct, the sequel, and it's passed. It was supposed to be, 5-year anniversary was supposed to be April of last year. Never released it. It's now the next year, still haven't released it. I think I will. I just keep putting it off because I especially really want to do a 5-year anniversary re-release of Saving Betty, the trilogy ending. That's coming up July this year. I don't know, it's something I'm proud of. Something I want to do. I've just been putting it off. I'm sure no one cares. I only have 126 subscribers. I'm sure most of them don't even give a shit. Maybe like 5 people give a shit. I don't know. I'm just rambling at this point. I don't know, big thoughts, nowhere to put them, no cohesion. So this isn't really good content, that's why I'm putting it here. This is more personal for me than good content. You want good content, follow my TikTok, Awful House Ho. Go to Instagram, Centerrock, Fuller for Change. Yes, I'm changing my real surname is Fuller. Changing it to Forest when I get married. Like I said, I'm now engaged. Wowee. Yeah. And journalism. I've recently taken up journalism because I've been in politics for a long time. People have always said I'm a good writer. I was like, well, I'm in between jobs. Why don't I take up journalism? And so yeah, ZacheryForest.substack.com. Most of my articles are free. There's a couple you have to pay for. It's just $5 a month or $50 a year. The only reason is because it is something to like, okay, I need the extra help. That's the only reason why. Most of the articles are going to be free because I don't like making people pay for things. I'm an anti-capitalist, in case you didn't know. Capitalism is inherently evil. I've believed this for how long now? 6, 7 years now. I've written about it, I've studied it, and I've worked to form a society. I'm just one person. I can't literally overturn the entire global society, but I'm saying in my community I've tried to promote anti-capitalist values. Very proud of that. We can build a better world. We can build a better world. I don't give a shit what you call it. A lot of people are like, well, if it's not capitalism, what is it? Easy answer, I guess you could say socialism, but that doesn't mean much. Like, the word socialism means a lot of things. Really, I don't give a shit what you call it. Just don't make profit the driving motivator of the entirety of society. Instead, human needs, making people live better, longer, happier, healthier lives is the goal. I don't give a shit what you call it, okay? Guess you could say I'm an anarchist, in a way. Oh well. If you did watch this, thank you for watching. Tell me what you think. Tell me if you're neurospicy, or you work in community service or politics, or have been in situations like this. Tell me your thoughts, advice, comments, criticism, cuss words, as my old mentor would always say. And have a great day.